today's age, the deep willingness to learn new ways to do things, also to be willing to engage in serious unlearning. That's to say, the best practices of 5 years ago are probably just plain wrong today. The best tools I was using 5 years ago are probably outdated. So I think the key is to be willing to say, I got to look for kind of lifelong learning, but that's too easy to say. Learning on the job, in the moment, and treat that as an adventure. So I think the companies that really stick out to me are people that see constantly being confronted with new problems and new ideas, new ways to use graphic processing units in your own company and so on. These are the things that are going to really matter. And I'm going to also stress unlearning. And I won't bore you with my own story, but in the last 10 years in my own career, I've had to go through at least 4 major complete unlearnings in terms of how I use computational technologies to invent things and to do things. And that's surprising, because it means that a lot of the people who were masters, even came out of graduate schools 5 years ago, may already be behind the curve in terms of new ways to use tools that do things in shocking ways. For example, if you want to look at some of the greatest breakthroughs in machine learning, if you really want to dig into what underlies AlphaGo, and I have spent 20 years of my life in artificial intelligence, 6 months ago, I said it could not have happened. It did happen. Let me tell you, the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've been driven by an obsession to kind of understand how did it work, and what the amount that I've had to unlearn in the last 2 weeks, I can't even begin to tell you yet. Again, the game has changed, is being played in such a different way that it's hard to even describe it if you haven't lived through this. So I think that amount of learning and unlearning, the passion to do both, obviously driven by curiosity, but you got to realize that this is a collaborative game. Learning by yourself ain't that much fun, and it ain't that efficient. So I often find by building a small cadre of folks, in terms of the machine learning stuff I'm doing right now with AlphaGo, there's one other person, happens to be in Colorado. The amount of time I spend with him on the phone, on computational issues. We're actually building our own computer right now to try out some new ideas on this sphere. This sense of being willing to dive in, build, but you need to find people that you can bring together who have the diverse set of skills, because diversity of the skills, diversity of your worldviews, diversity of your own personas in terms of what you're willing to risk and how you kind of take personal risks, etc. How do you build a team that has almost a sense of a shared consciousness becomes, I think, a very key property of being willing to unlearn. Because let me tell you, unlearning can be really scary. I think, with that, it's kind of a final type question of what kind of partnerships might you really need to look at? The answer, I think, is probably many, because I think we learn with partners. In fact, you can't build a successful partnership if both of you aren't learning with and from each other. So it's a complex relation that gets built that accelerates learning, accelerates doing, accelerates kind of diverse reflection that's going to make the difference. And so it's all too easy to find a partner that will do this one job just wonderfully, but you won't learn much, and they won't learn much. Yeah, you may get the thing out the door, but maybe that's all that gets out the door. And in today's world where scalable learning is the coin of the realm, I think you're missing a real opportunity. So I think we have to rethink how kind of ecosystems work, not the old types of ecosystems with basically slave master, et cetera, but ones now where there's much more parity and much more willingness to engage in these partnerships rapidly without having lawyers drive you crazy, and view it as much how do you build a learning relationship as well as a performing relationship. High performance, high learning, high diversity, high collaboration. Again, my favorite term obviously today, coin of the realm. Good luck and thank you.